Key Rodney was a teenager who disappeared after what was supposed to be a simple summer get-together with friends. She had gone to a party in the Tahoe National Forest after being dismissed early from school. According to police, she left in the early hours of August 6, 2022, and that was the last time anyone saw her. Keely grew up in a close, supportive family and had a wide circle of friends. She was smart, creative, and excited about her future. With her first year of college approaching, she was trying to enjoy the last bit of summer before stepping into a new chapter. No one expected a local gathering so close to home to turn into something so tragic. When Key didn't show up the next morning for plans she'd made with her best friends, everyone immediately felt something was wrong. Community members, volunteers, and law enforcement all came together to search for her, but none of them were prepared for what they would eventually find. On Friday, August 5th, the Tahoe National Forest was in full summer mode. Clear skies, warm air, and views stretching all the way to Mount Shasta. Wildflowers were still scattered across the area, a bright holdover from the previous year's wildfires. With school starting soon, people were trying to squeeze in one last day of fun. Key had finished high school early, a big accomplishment, and was set to start at Sierra College the following week. Her family couldn't have been more proud. That afternoon, she hung out with friends, made crème brûlée, and enjoyed the day. Later, she headed to a summer send-off party at the Prosser campground. It's about 40 minutes from Reno and only a 15-minute drive from her home. Locals call the spot the Sanctuary because it sits on a quiet lake, a place where teens often gathered before heading off to new schools and new lives. Keely had made plans to meet her closest friends the next morning at 9 a.m. on August 6th, but she never showed up. In fact, no one saw her at all after the night of August 5th. She grew up in Truckee, California, with her parents Lindsay and Daniel, who adored her. Her younger brother looked up to her more than anyone. He thought she was the best person in the world. They lived outside town in a more rural part of Truckee, a lifestyle many would describe as somewhat off-grid. It suited Keely perfectly. She was upbeat, easy to be around, and living a typical mountain town life. She had been looking forward to that weekend for days, especially the camping party. When she left home at around 6 p.m. on August 5th, her parents had no idea it would be the last time they saw her. Not long after leaving, she stopped at a gas station in Truckee. Surveillance footage shows her walking inside before getting back on the road. A few hours later, around 10 p.m., she arrived at the campsite with her friend Magdalene. That's where they met up with another friend, Sammy Smith. Key and Sammy spent most of the night together, having drinks, catching up, drifting in and out of different groups. The party grew fast. What was supposed to be a local gathering turned into a huge event as word spread. 200 to 300 teens from all over Northern California showed up. Because of wildfire restrictions, campfires weren't allowed, so the area was mostly dark except for glow sticks, electric candles, and open car trunks. This wasn't the first party like this for Key and her friends. In interviews, her mother made it clear, Keely never drank and drove. She was responsible and steady, and her friends confirmed it. They had never seen her drive after drinking. That's part of why her mom wasn't worried that night. Around 11 p.m., the girls went to Keely's silver Honda CR-V so she could charge her phone. They sat inside talking and sharing drinks. At some point, Sammy asked Key for a ride home later. Around 11:30 p.m., Lindsay received a text from Keely saying she'd be home soon. Lindsay trusted her. Her daughter had always been reliable. She'd even finished high school early with honors. Lindsay texted back, "Be safe, I love you." Keely replied, "Okay, I love you too." Between 11:30 p.m. and 12:20 a.m., Sammy realized Keely was too intoxicated to drive her home, so she arranged another ride. The two girls then separated. Sammy later told police she said goodbye to Keely around 12:25 a.m. Minutes later, at 12:36 a.m., Sammy got a call from Keely asking about her ride. From the background noise, Sammy assumed she was still at the party, but she wasn't completely sure. That call would be the last time anyone heard from Keely. The next morning, Lindsay woke up and noticed Keely wasn't home. Her room was empty, and her car wasn't in the driveway. After multiple unanswered calls, she immediately contacted the police. Authorities didn't issue an Amber Alert, saying there wasn't enough evidence that Keely had been abducted or was in immediate danger. They searched the party area and interviewed about a third of the attendees. But despite requests from police, many teens hesitated to come forward, worried about admitting underage drinking or drug use with college right around the corner. Even though officers assured them they weren't trying to charge anyone, most people still refused to talk. News spread fast, but the silence continued. Out of 200 to 300 people, no one claimed to have seen anything unusual. Yet Keely and her car were gone. It didn't make sense. Sammy organized a meeting with other teens who attended the party without law enforcement to encourage them to talk freely. But even then, nothing useful surfaced. Sammy continued telling police she believed she was the last person to see Key. She and other friends mentioned older boys at the party, making them uncomfortable, which was one of the reasons they decided to leave early. The group of friends had one rule: they never left anyone behind, especially someone who had been drinking. Even though there were tons of photos and videos from that night, none of them revealed anything about where Keely went or what state she was in before disappearing. Police soon confirmed Keely's phone last connected to cellular data at 12:33 a.m., the same time she called Sammy. After that, nothing. Because Sammy spent most of the evening with Keely, she became central to the investigation and spoke to the media several times. Rumors quickly spread online. Many questioned the relationships between Keely, Sammy, and Jagger, Keely's ex-boyfriend. People noticed Sammy and Keely didn't follow each other on social media. Others pointed out Sammy's ties to Jagger. Things escalated when Sammy and Jagger asked people to send tips directly to them instead of the police. They said they would filter the information. This made many people suspicious. Police later clarified publicly that they never asked Jagger to collect witness statements. All information should go directly to law enforcement, but that announcement only fueled more suspicion. By August 12th, police and volunteers were searching everywhere: her home, every road she might have taken, and multiple areas of the Tahoe National Forest. The official search radius was massive, covering a 25-mile area, yet nothing turned up. Online discussion exploded. People kept digging into relationships, theories, and inconsistencies, but still, no answers. Police set up an anonymous online portal for photos and videos since some teens reportedly felt pressured by adults not to speak. But again, nothing concrete surfaced. At a press conference, police revealed they had discovered what looked like a possible burial site. But when the FBI examined it, it turned out to be a dog. The case grew more confusing. It seemed increasingly unlikely that no one at the enormous party knew anything. Over 720 leads had been processed. Still nothing. On August 21st, 2022, 17 days after Keely vanished, the group Adventures with Purpose, P, found Keely's silver Honda CR-V upside down in Prosser Reservoir. They found it in less than 2 hours. Police and local dive teams had supposedly searched the lake thoroughly for 2 weeks, yet AWP located the car almost immediately using a $2,500 sonar device. Inside the submerged SUV, Keely's body was found in the cargo area. This raised several major questions. How did multiple agencies miss the car? Why did a volunteer YouTube dive team find it so quickly? Why did police and AWP give conflicting statements about whether they were in contact? A trail camera nearby even recorded what looked like a car entering the water at 12:32 a.m., the exact time her phone last pinged. Still, no one heard anything that night, despite 200-plus teens being just a short distance away. Other strange details. The car required a sharp left turn onto a rough dirt path, hard to take by accident. Several windows were down when found, meaning water would have rushed in fast. Keely was found in the cargo area, not the front seats or near an open window. The car had damage on the driver's side that wasn't there earlier. Aerial searches somehow missed a vehicle visible from above. None of it added up. The autopsy ruled her death an accidental drowning. But her lungs did not contain typical amounts of water. Lung weights were unusually low for a drowning case. Her blood alcohol level was 0.08, but postmortem alcohol can form after death. There were no signs of assault. She was fully clothed. Locals were skeptical because the county coroner and police chief were reportedly the same person, a conflict that concerned many. With all the inconsistencies, many people questioned, was the investigation thorough? Was something overlooked? How did trained search teams miss the car? Why was she in the back of the SUV? Why were there no clear tire tracks? Why did no one see or hear a crash? Was this truly an accident? For Keely's family, the uncertainty is the deepest pain of all.